It'll be a good little cook pot.
That could spear right through me. Pine tree right through the chest. No thank you.
Pine needles in my coffee.
Just poked in the eye with a stick.
Sludge water.
Oh, you can tell some spooky stories with it at least. So big. We don't mess around. We don't play, baby. Let's go, baby. This one's going back though.
What is up, guys? Welcome back to another mainstream adventure. We're not on the stream, but we are on the road. We're on the road to the Dollar General. You might have something similar in your area, dollar store, the Dollar Tree, all kinds of different variations. But it's basically a place where you can find some more affordable items, if you will. What we're going to be doing today is picking up a few items that I think will be essential in surviving an overnighter. Basically a few things that I don't think you should be caught without. That's the plan for today's video. We're going to go get those items. I'll pack up my bag and we're gonna hit the woods and stay overnight just using the items that we get at the Dollar General. Okay, hopefully I can talk over the music. First things first, we're gonna grab a tarp here. $7 tarp, nice heavy duty tarp. Next thing I'm thinking is light. Literally $1 flashlight, you can't beat that. I could go for the $1 knife here or the $6. I'm gonna go for the cheap one. I don't need any sort of heavy duty knife and I'll be able to use this for carpentry and stuff in the future. See this right here? Poly twine, 3-ply, 1-quart stainless steel. I think it's meant for like straining bacon grease. It'll be a good little cook pot. $5, a little bit pricey, but it's worth it to be able to boil some water. Switching out the poly twine for this 300 feet of natural quote-unquote twine. That's definitely more footage than the poly, and I don't mind leaving that in the woods. This would fit in my backpack better. I think this is more realistic because, I mean, that's just foolish. That'll be my blanket for the night. $12 blanket. Seems a little expensive, but better than nothing. Great addition for a fire starter is these little tea lights. Those are $1 as well. Now we're not talking essentially survival stuff, but morale boosters. These are kind of going to be rations that you could easily keep in your backpack without even knowing it. Good old classic Taster's Choice instant coffee, $1.25. An excellent morale booster. Again, doesn't take up much space in the pack. Better than just drinking plain water. Hot Buffalo seems dangerous, and a nice bold jalapeno, $1.25 each. Tuna Creations, and last but not least in the food department, just some rice. No classic, packs down nicely, cooks up easily.
Oh boy.
Yeah, gonna camp out for the night with just these items.
Really?
Yep. Let's see what I get to for a price here.
You're gonna be freezing.
Oh, that reminded me. I need fire. That's important.
Ah,
goodness. Yes. Okay guys, got the gear. Hopefully that's enough to keep me warm tonight. Stay tuned. I'll see you when we're in the woods. Okay guys, so in total I spent about $30. I've spent more than that on knives, so that's pretty good. Like I said, I'm going to be using my Hidden Woodsman backpack. I know it's kind of a cheat.
You're a phony! Hey, this guy's a great big phony!
But that'll be one of the only extra things besides the clothes on my body that I bring out with me. We're trying to imitate a situation where you're either out hiking, mushroom hunting, bird watching, fishing, and maybe you get turned around and you gotta stay in the woods overnight. So I wanna show you guys maybe what I would do personally to stay warm and stay comfortable, precautions that you can take preemptively. Maybe that's redundant. Preemptive things that you can do to make sure that you could have a comfortable or just survive a night in the woods. So stay tuned, we'll get out there, and I think the first thing is to build a shelter. Here is the bag pack out. Like I said, bringing my Hidden Woodsman bag, that's the one thing, and then I have camera gear and my Ruger SR22. Whether I'm mushroom hunting, bird watching, or hunting in general, I'm going to have my SR22, which you never know, you could harvest a squirrel or a bird. I won't be doing that tonight, but my other little cheap out item is my backpack. Again, I could have grabbed a backpack, or I could just walk out in the woods with these two bags. So I'm gonna get my bag packed up. First thing is gonna be that blanket that I got. That's a luxury item for sure. That'll be on like a bedroll style because it's nice and dry out. So on my stainless steel pot, this thing again is $5, but I'll use that for cooking and boiling water. A 6x8 tarp, that should be good. It's a nice heavy duty tarp. The handy dandy $1 flashlight. 300 feet of this natural line. Morale boosters, we got some instant coffee, 2 packs, super spicy tuna, which if you guys didn't know, this is going into the morale booster side of things. Spicy food actually releases dopamine in the brain, and I think that is kind of a natural hack for survival. If you can get that little release of dopamine from some nice spicy food, which is also packed in protein, 15 grams of protein in each of these. The pack of rice, again, nice lightweight things that you could just toss in your bag and forget about. Some seasoning, tea lights, a super light $1 razor blade, and last but not least, my lighter. I'm gonna leave tarp right in the plastic, why not? And again, I always have a similar lineup of these things already in my bag, but I wanted to show you that for under $30 you could literally survive the night. If you're going farther than 30 minutes to an hour from your home, you want to have all of these things just in case something goes awry. An extra bottle of water, these candles. Keep a blanket in your vehicle, you never know. Future Chris here. I don't think I mentioned it. An item that I did forget was a medical kit, some band-aids, some gauze wrap maybe, antibacterial ointment that could be useful in a situation where somebody got a bad cut or something like that. Okay, it's an important moment. The moment that you decide to call it. I think this is an important moment to talk about staying calm. We are out here half an hour till sunset. I know I'm pretty far from home and I'm not gonna get out of here before the sun sets. So instead of blabbling on, I'm going to get my composure, set up a shelter with what I have in my backpack, and get a fire going. I suppose this is going to be camp for the night. Of course, biggest benefit being that I have an access to water. At least I have something to drink and make some rice with. These 2 trees here look like it will be good to string up a line and set up my tarp on. I'm looking around to see if there's any deadfalls that might come down on me if it gets windy tonight. I'm not setting up on this tree, guys. I'll move you over. If the wind started blowing, top came out of that could spear right through me. Not the way I want to go out. I don't know about you guys. Pine tree right through the chest. No, thank you. This nice wide pine. A little bit on a slope, but that's okay. Clear out this ground. I think this will be my bed for tonight. I'll build up. There's a nice bed of pine needles. That's where the shelter will be. Thank goodness I brought the tarp out. We're headed into mid-December. We don't only have dew, but we have frost. I could cover myself in leaves or pine boughs if I didn't have a blanket and a tarp. Why have yourself caught like that, I guess, is the point of this video. Okay, here we go. Shelter setup. This tarp, $7. You could keep it in the plastic that it's in. Look how that packs down. And this alone could save your life. Just having this and wrapping up in it and laying on the ground or just getting yourself out of the weather literally could save your life. This will be my shelter, and I'll actually maybe toss this truly in my bag rather than what I've been carrying. So that's a 6x8 tarp, meaning it will be 8 feet long, 6 times 3, 2, 4, 6. Believe it or not, the less high the better because the less heat escape I'll have. If you're in a tiny little shelter, I don't know if people are claustrophobic that subscribe to me, but it makes it uncomfortable. I'm gonna put a pitch on this line so when I put my tarp up, if it does rain or snow, it will run down. Obviously, I'm not carrying around $1 razor knife, trusting my life to that, but I want to show you that all of this stuff that doesn't cost very much could literally save your life. And it takes so small of preparation just to have this in your bag. You'll go from a miserable night to just camping out, essentially. You could imagine it like that. It's not exactly that, but survival doesn't have to be miserable. See, you get a little crazy when you're in the woods. Yeah, be prepared, guys. Oh, there it is, guys. The tarp shelter. If I have to, I will let these sticks here down and I'll collapse it and completely close in my heat. But I'll probably have a fire out here in front. I'm gonna pull these sticks like so. This one, I'm gonna close in my body heat. Probably have hot rocks underneath of me here because that blanket is not gonna be enough. This is kind of comfortable though. Take a little nap here. You can always button this up this way too. I don't know if you guys can see that, but that is my biggest enemy tonight. No spiders, no snakes, no predators that I'm really worried about, but these little sons of guns, ticks. Oh, I just dropped that one, of course. Grabbing these pine boughs here. I'm gonna use these as a windbreak at the end of my shelter, about the length of my shelter, and that'll keep the wind from rushing in from each end. I already started here, tying in my end with some pine boughs. I got a big one on there and I'm kind of hanging the other ones off. Just poked in the eye with a stick. That's the back side of the shelter. If it rains, that's gonna shed the rain right off it. You guys can see what I'm doing here, but you can barely see inside of the shelter now because I've built up a nice wall of pine boughs. Shelter, check. Let me show you my MTV crib for the night. We got the evergreen blockage on the end there for the wind. Same on that end. But then you crawl in here, and it's a nice bed. For filming purposes, I do have a light, but we have to get a fire started now because I want something to eat. A hot cup of rice sounds pretty good right now, especially if I'm sleeping in this tarp shelter. Actually, I can get the water in a second. Let's get my fire started first. Should be able to just set that right up there. Or set the candle right under my tinder, and I'll put my fire. I'm not going to be using, although I would advise, if you're surviving, set up a nice long fire, log fire even, that's like 3 foot long, and that will reflect a ton of heat into your shelter. But there's a ton of pine up here, and I don't want to go too crazy with my fire tonight. I might even try and find some stones to set this on so we don't have any root fires. There's a stone. This could be another key survival item, guys. Cell phones, everybody carries them nowadays. A great app is Onyx Hunt, or just Google Maps in general. You can download maps if you didn't know. We're not using a cell phone tonight. So clearly we have plenty big of a surface. Found this awesome rock. Got our candles here. Cheapo lighter here. That is a lifesaver. You could always use a ferro rod or something like that, but you can't beat a Bic lighter. As you can see, I am building up this little fire here, but true survival, I'm making a massive fire. I do not support forest fires, of course. That's a huge issue right now with the droughts that we've been going through. But if you are in a survival situation, don't kill yourself with a fire. Don't set your shelter on fire. It also can be a means of signaling help. Okay, what better time? We are losing light. The trusty $1 flashlight. Ay, ay, ay. Better than nothing stumbling around in these woods if you gotta figure out what's going on or go to the bathroom or something. Comes with batteries. I think it had a good LED in it. Let's see. Hey, not too bad at all, guys. $1 flashlight. Ooh, you can tell some spooky stories with it at least. Better than nothing, like I said, you keep this in your car. Or to keep around camp to tell some spooky stories around the campfire. Again, keep the morale up, guys. Might be scary if you get stuck in the woods. Spooky. Then if you keep your morale up, I think that's a great investment into surviving into the night, whether you have food or fire or shelter or anything. Just stay positive and keep on trucking. Let's go get some water. Break it through. So this is, I guess, a bacon filter, which kind of works out because I can filter out the sediment from the pond. I can pull it off. It's got like leaves and stuff in there, which will just dump out. And I just got pond water. It's kind of cool. Lucky find, I suppose you could say. And now we've got a pot full of water that we can make some rice or some coffee with. Let's set that joker right on the flames. Water's on for maybe a coffee in a few minutes or some rice for supper. This is another note where dressing to the occasion is important. Look at the weather before you go out hunting or camping. See if it's gonna be below freezing. You get caught with just gear like this. I at least have a heavy coat on and double-lined pants. People be going out hiking in like yoga pants and like runners and stuff. This is at least gonna be better than nothing. Can't fall asleep yet. Survival night's not even over. I hope to bring you some tips that maybe will help you survive. I think you should have this type of stuff on you. Literally just a backpack, didn't weigh much, and I'm gonna have a decently comfortable night. I won't be snuggled up like a bug in a rug. I'll make it through. Kind of excited to have that rice though. A little rice and tuna bowl. Have something to eat, hit the hay, and reevaluate my situation in the morning. Okay, I gotta get that water, guys. We're having Spanish rice and tuna. Not much to do, guys. Lay up in this shelter, have a little something to eat. All fun and games till the Bigfoot starts playing a beat back to you. Thank you for joining me in that musical. Oh, wow. Almost lost this. Wasn't paying attention. Looking good, looking good. Get some rice here, smells delicious. Let it go for a bit longer and let that rice absorb up the water. I think that'll be a good little supper. This is bed for the night. I got the fire going. It's not that cold, so I don't think I'll need the hot rocks tonight. Oh, Tuna Creations hot buffalo style. Delicious. This is gonna be some gourmet of a meal. This razor blade actually works pretty dang good. I'll make a spoon out of this. Okay. For $1, I am so impressed with this freaking razor blade. Nice little spoon. I think the only thing I'm gonna be regretting not getting is some teepee after this meal. Not too bad at all. A little bit dry. I'm gonna have something to eat here and then tuck in. I'll see you guys in the morning. Good morning, guys. Got down to about 45 degrees last night. I don't know if you can see the tarp waving around, but it also got quite a bit windier, which didn't help staying that warm, but stayed dry, which was important. $30 kit, not too bad at all. Better than sleeping just under some leaves or some pine boughs, that's for sure. Let's get this camp broken down and have some coffee. First things first, I got up to use the bathroom last night and I kicked my can into the rock and pretty much crushed that. Grab my handy dandy candles. Handy dandy candles. Sounds like it could be a brand of candle. These things are awesome for lighting fires. Where are we going? I think we got a little bit below 45. I'm not sure. That ice had a little bit like it was refrozen. My hands are feeling it. Not gonna get a huge fire going. Not staying long once I get packed up here. So, in review, was it like using my normal camping kit and things that I'd use? Not at all. I mean, like I said, if you plan on going on, say, a day hike, having like the tarp is a killer thing. I mean, you could use it just as a blanket if you had to as well. Just wrap right down in it and cover yourself in leaves if it really got down there in the freezing temps. I had the front of this tarp laid down in more of an A-frame pattern, so that worked out well. Kept the wind out. I went light on those pine boughs because I didn't want to go breaking off a bunch of green stuff. Could have gone more on that. I could definitely feel the breeze coming through each end. $1 flashlight. About the only time I used that was when I was filming, and the one time I got up to take a leak. Obviously it wasn't very bright. Stainless steel pot got a little bit crunched, but that's okay. Still be able to get the water boiled here. Speaking of, nestle right in there. So I probably won't be carrying that tarp in my backpack for camping. I'll use it for some other utility purpose, maybe covering a wood pile or my scooter or something. But on that note, you can get the gear that I actually do use, or most of it at least, on Fowler's, Makery, and Mischief.com. I'm only saying it once, guys. Well, maybe one more time. Fowler's, Makery, and Mischief.com. Camping gear, Hidden Woodsman gear, which is the backpack that you see me carrying all this stuff in. Good backpack is surprisingly important, and these things hold up. The freaking build quality on this thing, very, very good. I highly approve of all the work that Malcolm does with his backpacks and packs and all that different stuff. So yeah, guys, I won't be trusting my life to this $30 kit in the future. I have plenty of my own
camping gear that I picked up over the years. Some of it actually I got from Fowler's Makery and Mischief.com. He's got shelter stuff, he's got the war bonnet hammocks, tons of different knives, knife sharpeners, fire starters galore. Basically all the things that you need is available on Fowler's Makery and Mischief.com. So it's pretty cool. Go check out the website, guys. Tuna creations in a bag, not too bad for $1. Let's see how this coffee is. My brain's not functioning. What the heck? Where's my Taster's Choice? Found it. Got the Taster's Choice coffee. We're gonna drop it into our water here. Been a while since I've had instant coffee. Thought it was supposed to be powder. Pond water already looked like coffee water. Sludge water. A little warm drink though. Something for the morning. Let's see. Ah, the essence of pine sap. Oh my goodness, it's covered in pine sap. It's not bad. Taster's Choice House Blend instant coffee. To keep that around for this fishing season. Let's go down by my water view property here. I guess this is the water view property. Oh, it's just beautiful. Poplar leaves are singing. Chestnuts are roasting. Pine needles in my coffee. Bits of rice floating in it too. It's like breakfast. Honestly, not bad. Smoky. I don't have time to sit around though, guys. Let's get this shelter packed up. There we go. Camp cleaned up. As you can see, flat spot where I laid. Let's finish off our coffee. Ugh, chunk of tuna, I think. Probably should have washed this. Shout out to Zach. Probably wouldn't have had this idea to survive just using Dollar General gear if it wasn't for him. It's not my typical video, I know. No catch and cook. Pretty happy. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm gonna sip the rest of my coffee. We're gonna hike out of here. Oh, I forgot to tell the story about me getting lost in like 100 yards of woods. So I'll tell this story real quick while I finish off my coffee. So when I was just up doing the moose video actually, and it would have been funny, I should have got this on video, but we were cleaning the moose. If you had seen the video, there was one moose that was put down right before last light, meaning the sun was going down, and it started raining, so we had to hike up into where this moose was shot, which was only about 150 yards, but it was dark out and raining. And if you know northern Maine, it's where woodcutters have been in there, cut the trees, and then over the years they regrow, and it regrows thick. So we were in about 10-foot tall trees plowing through to get this moose. Got there, started cleaning it, and buddy Brody, the guy who you just saw in the other last video, in the ice fishing video, he cut his palm open when he was cutting the moose or skinning the moose out. So I was like, I'll go back, you keep working, I'll go back and get a band-aid. So I head back to where I think was the truck. There's experienced guides there, like, and a client, so just adds embarrassment. So I start heading back, and already like lose sight of their flashlights, pitch black. The truck wasn't running, so I couldn't see the truck headlights, and I realized I got turned around within, it was literally 30 seconds, because I was trying to move quickly, because my friend had just got his hand cut, so I was like, I go get the band-aid as quick as possible. Well, I really only made the situation worse for the both of us, because I continued to whack through these soaking wet trees, got literally soaked through my sweatshirt, and we're in northern Maine fall time. It's cold, 30 degrees, or not 30, I guess. It was above freezing, probably 40. I finally put my ego aside, and I'm like, hey guys, I yell, guys, could you holler back to me, so I could make my way back to the sound of their voice. And they did. I holler them, they'd holler back, and eventually I made it back to the moose, not with no band-aids, unfortunately. Fortunately, Brody wasn't bleeding out, and the guide Joel there, he got a kick out of it, because when I was walking back soaking wet, oh, and my flashlight died like a minute and a half after getting lost, but I was kind of giving myself some grief. I believe my line was, "I am not happy," so I heard that quoted back to me a few times around camp from the guide Joel. But planning ahead is super important, whether it's the gear like what I picked up, or the route that you're going to be taking. I just got the basics for you. I know you got to stay warm, stay dry, and stay warm, obviously. You can keep yourself entertained and maybe put a little warm liquid in your stomach, then you can turn things around pretty quickly. I'd stay out here all day if there was fish in this pond, but there's nothing, so let's get on it here. sacrifice the rest of this gourmet coffee. Oh, I gotta make sure I grab those tea light metals out of here. Probably could have taken those off before.